Wow! Now Free Walk for Rigify offers the possibility to create animations that move forward, sideways, and backward. This is amazing. Let's take a look at version 2.0.0 of this Addon for Blender 3D. It works for human characters rigged with Rigify. The full panel becomes visible when we switch to pose mode. Let's hide the unnecessary layers of the armature by clicking the Set Layers button. To begin the game, let's position the character in the reference pose to calibrate the Addon. This is important because each character has different dimensions. Try to keep your arms and legs slightly bent. You can use the shortcuts Ctrl+C and Shift+Ctrl+V to mirror the position of the bones. We'll use a feature from the Rigify Addon to also position the FK bones. Generally available in the Item tab. Simply select each hand or foot and click this button, FK to IK. Notice how the arms and legs are slightly bent. Place the character's feet together, and bring their hands close to their legs. Confirm by clicking the Get Reference button. OK, now we can click the Preview Cycle button to see the magic. Here are the controls you may already be familiar with. What's new is that it's now possible to select 4 types of animations: normal, drunk, rotated, and zombie. Note that each animation offers different controls. It is now also possible to select the direction: front, right, back, or left. Speed control was maintained: slow, fast, and normal. Here we can abort the preview. Or here, we can convert the preview into an action. Here is the action we just created. The control settings are described in the name. The result is clean, easy to handle because only essential keyframes are inserted. The interpolation of the feet, when in contact with the ground, is automatically converted to linear. OK, now let's explore the free sequence mode. The first thing we need to do is position the frame where we want the animation to begin. For example, on frame 20. Now we can click the Preview Free button, and our character will begin walking through the scene. Here we specify how many steps will be taken. Let's set it to 6. And here, which leg will take the first step? Right, left, right, left. This number indicates which step we are configuring. We can change the step here. Or simply by selecting the desired empty object. By rotating the object, we can control the direction of walking. We can also change the animation type from this step. Let's change it to zombie. Furthermore, we can select any empty and change the direction. To make a turn, we can rotate a little here. Select the next step and choose the back option. And rotate a little. Note that when we change the panel settings, the number is in parentheses. In the previous step, we had these settings, walk normal. And here we changed it to this, walk zombie. If we want to undo this change and keep the previous options, just click on the number in parentheses. Now let's look at the frozen functionality. Let's say we want to climb onto this object. We could even simply rotate the empties. However, this creates an inclination of the body, which might be useful in some cases, but we don't want that in this example. Let's press Ctrl Z to undo. So what we can do is freeze the animation. With the frozen button active, you can manipulate any bone except the supporting foot, which is the back foot. All other bones can have their orientations altered. The step button loops the step for visualization purposes only, showing how the movement is progressing. The middle button freezes the middle of the step. And the end button freezes the end of the step. Always make changes first at the end of the movement, as these changes also alter the middle of the movement. Okay, let's select the armature and switch to pose mode. Let's select the front foot and position it over the obstacle. To fix the FK bones, we can use this feature of Rigify. Let's go back to the Free Walk tab. If we unfreeze the animation, we get this. The character climbs the obstacle without leaning their body. However, the movement is a little strange because we need to correct the middle of the step. So let's freeze again and choose the middle option. What we need to do is raise the torso more to straighten the supporting leg. And also lift this foot so that it doesn't collide with the obstacle. Let's correct the FK bones to make it more presentable. Let's visualize how the step is progressing. Now we also need to correct the middle in the next step. So let's move forward one step. We need to do basically the same thing. Raise the torso until the supporting leg is straight, and lift the other foot so that it doesn't collide with the obstacle. Finally, let's correct the FK bones. If we click the reset button, the changes we made to the bones in this middle will be undone. Okay, Let's unfreeze the animation to see the result. Let's change the last step to the side just to represent a stop. Finally, let's convert the preview into keyframes in the current action. Note that the keyframes were inserted starting from frame 20, as we determined at the beginning. Okay, now that we've finished the walk, let's recenter the route. To do this, we'll advance to the last keyframe, here, and click the Start Centralize button. The Addon will add an empty object to the scene, allowing us to control where we want the route to be centered. The Y-axis indicates the front. After positioning it, we can choose which type of centering we want. We have two options. The first route only centers the route but maintains the object's origin. The Addon inserts all keyframes. So we have this result. We'll use Ctrl-Z to undo. The second option, All, centers both the root and the origin of the object. This is the result. Let's press play to see how our animation turned out. Now that we have everything converted into keyframes, we can refine the result manually using Blender's Motion Paths tool. But that's for another video. I hope this has helped you understand the basic workings of FreeWalk for Rigify. If you have any questions, please contact me. Don't forget to follow me and turn on notifications to be alerted about new videos. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.